Oh, hello again. AVA Pubstars time. Match 5, Round 2, Noshahr Canals, where my team, Team B, plays US side. So, we won last round. That was good. Now we got to win this round. I want to take this home. So, let's look at the map. It's a Canals map, and it's the map that I talked about last. It's a bunch of stuff here. Helos go there. The tank's coming from here. There's a big ledge. I got B, C, A, whatever. Who cares? Let's just go right into the strategy and talk about what we did last time. While playing on the Russian side, we moved all of our tanks and our stuff like that all the way up for the big line to really control A and C. We did pretty well. We won. That's good. And they pushed on C quite a bit using helicopters, dropped dudes down, which is why I got this exclamation mark here. And that it's all right. We held them. Lost a few times, but we held them. But there's one thing that they did a lot of, and that was they put down landmines all over here. Now, I sort of knew this was coming, and I told Mongol, who's the other tank driver, this was going to be coming. But it still came, and I still got hit a few times. I didn't die doing landmines, but landmines still triggered my reactive armor. So what's our strategy on the US side? It's very similar. So we're going to we have 2 light helos, an amphib and an amtrac, and some infantry, and a bunch of boats. So we're going to take one helo and have him attack the other helo. That's all he's going to do. Tie the enemy helo, get the helo down, and then he can engage tanks. The other helo, though, is going to try to make a path towards C as fast as they can, but while also not getting killed. That's a big, big caveat, because if you go too low, you're going to be on the line side of those tanks or the Vodniks. Don't want that. If you're going too high, it's going to take too long to get there. So you got to find that right balance. How do you do that? You practice. Now, we didn't practice much for this, and so not much at all, actually. We only played maybe 15-20 minutes before the match, and only half of us showed up. That's why we have so many ringers. We have 3 ringers on our team for this, or 3 substitutes. On a side note, there's an odd sort of debate that I see on YouTube every so often, where the competitive scene talks about ringers and uses it as a word interchangeable with substitute, as in someone that they just find that they can take and bring onto a map and have them play, and that's the end of it. Whereas, and that's the definition that I sort of grew up with, because I really never heard it in any other context than competitive gaming. Until I actually started reading some of these YouTube comments, and all these people were like, and they were talking to me, they're just talking about the competitive scene in general. They're like, ringer, you're not using the right word. Ringer is not the right word. The ringer is someone who you bring in who's not in your team and is so much better than anyone else that it creates an imbalance that creates a big disadvantage for one team or the other. I didn't know that was the definition of it until someone called not me out, but called someone else out on it. And so we brought in 3 substitutes. I call them 3 ringers, whatever. And our strategy was this: we have an LAV, which is me, pushing up on A to cap A, and then we have the light helo going to go on train and drop dudes up. How many dudes? 6 dudes. Now we're playing an 8-on-8, which means that if I got 1 guy in the light helo attacking, 1 guy in the LAV, myself, 2. If we have 6 dudes, that means that the helo is essentially bombing it. They're going to jump out and crash it or land it and go for a hot landing. Whatever works. That'd be great. Whatever. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how they do it as long as they get there. Get 6 dudes out there, get C no matter what. We get C no matter what. We can get a bottleneck. Now, why do we want to get that bottleneck? It's because of this. Landmines. I want to landmine the shit out of that area. And why do I want to do that? Well, if I can landmine the shit out of that area, and if I have the explosive perk with my squad, I have 5 landmines. If I have 6 people in that area with landmines, I can put down a maximum of 30 landmines. Now, I expect that most people won't put down their landmines, but I told them a half dozen times to put landmines down. So hopefully 50% of them listen. And so that's 15 landmines. 15 landmines is a lot of landmines. And even if you run in thermals, which allow you to see the landmines easily, or you're pushing that Q button really diligently and you can catch a few of them here and there, it's still going to take you time to destroy those landmines. And time is the most important variable in this, because if I can increase the duration that it takes for an enemy tank to go from Russian to A or go to Russian to C, then it puts that enemy tank closer to equilibrium relative to the duration it takes for me to bring my LAV up, or worse yet, to bring my Amtrak up. Because even though that we have an aerial advantage, it takes us, no kidding, 2 to 3 times as long to move a U.S. vehicle from the U.S. aircraft or the U.S. aircraft carriers, let's call it an aircraft carrier, to A or to B. It's a longer distance, and it's over the ocean. Ocean takes longer, so we have to create not necessarily we can't create a greater distance between the Russian and C and Russian and A, but instead make it longer for them to get there. Make it longer to get there. We can bring the map closer to parity. Oh, and mind you, the Russian go to C to A and C to, or Russian to A and Russian to C. No real obstacles. If I'm on US and I go US to B, I can only get up through one route, and I have to go all the way around. Or if I go to A to C, I have to go all the way around this little nook area, and it's highly exposed. And I go up this ramp, and now I'm there. I can't take it from the lower level to the top level. I have to go around these two paths, these two ramps. Whereas the tanks, the Russian tanks, they can go anywhere they want. They can jump it. They don't take any damage. So it's a huge advantage. So landmines are so important to put those landmines down. Put the landmines down, we can increase the duration, and we can bring our vehicles up, and then we can try to play and win that vehicle-on-vehicle fight, because if we have helicopter superiority through putting guided missiles on them and lasering them, if we have engineers shooting rockets at them and even javelins, and we have our amphib APC up, and APC and amphib are not bad against tanks. With competent tank drivers, they're really good against tanks. We can get the advantage, and here we can win this. That was a strategy, but you'll notice I don't have the Amtrak on here. And I don't have the Amtrak on here because, learning from Cryo 9 and taking their suggestion, I'm not going to bring the Amtrak up off the start. And I'm not going to do that because I don't want to waste the valuable time that I have putting one guy in that Amtrak and have him or her slowly move to B or slowly move to A. I don't want to have that resource occupied for the most critical moments of the first few seconds of the game. I'd rather have one extra guy on C and with confidence get C. Now, clearly there's some vulnerability here. If I get A as the LAV and I don't die, I can push in B and get B. Or alternatively, if our light helo attacking helo doesn't die, he can cap on B by floating over it. But we don't really. I mean, so that's two. That's basically two contingencies I get B, but nothing beyond that. We can maybe get one of our C guys that feel good to push back on B, but we're not getting off the start. That's certainly a weakness. And that's basically our U.S. strategy. And after we get two things, or at least one thing, and then with a certain amount of confidence have another thing, we'll then get the amphib up. So maybe if we get B and C, we'll bring the amphib up. Or maybe if we get A and C, we'll get the amphib up. I'm not too worried about them getting B, because if they do, we can bottle them in, although conversely, fighting from two separate fronts, basically fighting this way and fighting this way, is a really difficult proposition. It's a losing proposition because you essentially have someone watch your backside constantly, and it's easier said than done. Nonetheless, though, let's enough strategy talk. Let's go into the game and take a look. All right, here we go. We had a certain process of who spawns in where. Xwar first, opponent second. I think Jack frags or Outlaw third. Whatever, it's all good. As live, let's do this.
So what are we going for here? C again, straight away, yeah?
C. Yep.
So Xwar's going around trying to get into a good position to take out that enemy helo, whereas I am pushing A directly. Now, Outlaw from Crimson says I go to B first, but I feel a bit audacious. I'm going to push A. I feel good about it.
Get that high ground.
So, but here's the thing. Look, Xwar and Mongol didn't spawn in, so we only have 4 dudes there. This is not going to work out.
Outlaw spawned on me.
We only have 4 dudes on there. I wanted 6 dudes on it. They're spawned on me instead. This is... We didn't do our spawns right, or Outlaw or Mongol didn't spawn on Epona.
Xwar, can you drop me off over
But now there's a tank. We'll worry about that now. Let's just fly this tank. Xwar gets a hit of that, or tries to get a hit of the tank. Iron's starting to hit this thing.
I hit it.
We get some good hits on it.
They're going to A. There's 2 going to A from the train on top.
And it's down. That's good.
There was like 5 guns.
And looks like the helo's up. Xwar got a hit on that tank, but did he go down? He went down. So we don't have the heal advantage now. That's not good at all, especially since we have.
He's up in the crates.
And he says there were 5 guns on me. No chance. They were using the Vodniks too. So it's not just about Xwar not playing, playing well or not playing well. That team had Vodniks on them, and I go down. And look, no one pushed B because I was either going to push B or Xwar was supposed to push B, and both the contingencies failed. That wasn't good enough planning. We're not in a good position now. We're actually in a terrible position now. We don't have a single point. We got some dudes up there. We got a boat guy. Where that boat guy is. But we're not in a good position right now.
B is gonna be ours in a few seconds.
Oh, but we have guys push from C to B. That was good. So at least someone was thinking. Anders is the one who said that. One of our substitutes.
There's 2 on A.
What? I got a tank with my...
Outlaw kills 2. That's good.
Good job, dude.
Outlaw goes down.
Yeah,
I'm taking hits. That helo is going after me. So after spawn camping our helos, they take out. They go after me now. So that's not good. So what's basically happening is that they have their helo up, and they're just going to cycle around and just keep on killing our helos. But Xwar got up. Looks like he's looking from the backside. So I didn't kill all of them, or at least he killed maybe 1 or 2. I'm going to keep on pushing through. But I don't have any help. It's just me, and that's it. Xwar and Mongol are both out. Actually, I was mistaken. Level Cap was not camping our helos. And Mongol takes him out. That's good. And I see a guy, and I miss him.
Guys, I'm up on C now. If you want to spawn on me.
What's sort of odd about the gunner position is that it has a much higher sensitivity than what you're used to, and so I jump into it and I'm just flailing around like crazy. And I'm taking hits.
There is a tank here.
Oh fuck!
And I'm taking. I think I'm taking hits because of repair tool. Maybe.
Yeah, he's right
oh, yes, I'm down. I gotta get out. I get out. And I see there's a guy there, maybe. Am I gonna find him? I don't see him. That could have been really cool. That could have been really cool. Blowing up that wall and jumping through and killing dudes. No, didn't happen. Didn't work.
It's gone. It should be gone.
There's one right next to us, Jack.
So Mongol's sort of going over it. He sees an enemy tank. He's gonna try to kill it. I'm going to get the APC to bring it back up, but we have a chance. We're going to use the B as a beachhead, even though that it's not a good position to be in. We got to start from somewhere, and if we don't start from anywhere, not going to be any luck. And so Mongol's up. He's got 2 out of 4 dudes there. Is there a guy repairing him? Maybe. But look at all that machine gun fire! Look at all the machine gun fire! Look at that! It's like, oh my god! It's like D-Day. Look at.
Go, bail up. Go. Go for it.
Tank said B. He's on the flag.
Team A is doing the same thing that I wanted us to do. Get in the Vodniks, shoot them down with the machine guns. Look at all that. Look at all that. Oh, they're down. Discornus with a great T-90 shot. I don't know if that was a guided missile lock or just a great main gun shot, but they're down. And we don't have B. It's grayed out. This is not good. So I'm not trying to make a long turn. I hate these kind of turns. Oh, I hate it. But I made it. It's all good. So, get back in. We got the point, though. I'm getting back on it. This is good. And I'm going to push hard. I'll say, guys, get in.
Is that a Vodnik or? Yeah.
Ah, fuck.
It's behind.
Two coming A, B.
There's like,
oh, there's a tank. I said, get out and take them out. I have 4 guys with me. We should be able to get something here. Nothing?
got out.
He's down. He's down.
It's down. Nice
Got
one.
out. One
Oh
guy out.
man,
He's down.
they're
He's
all
down.
over that point.
Let's go.
All
Let's go.
over
Let's go.
that
Push up.
fucking
Push
point.
up.
I'm trying to get those landmines down. Oh, I see them behind him. Take it out again. Oh, I can hit that gas can all day long. I love shooting that thing.
Right to my seat,
So I'm on it.
I need to kill this.
But wait a minute, no one's spawned on me. They're all up, which means that none of the guys who are on me and spawned in. We really didn't do this spawn or squad system
One guy
right
left.
because they're not with me.
My left.
The three guys who are with me are all in the squad. Not playing that right at all. Poor decisions on what the squads would have been like. But I go one, that's cool.
Getting B back.
But I'm getting messed up bad. And keep these vehicles up on U.S. side is so important. It's so important because it takes such a long time to take the vehicle from the U.S. carrier to the various points we want to capture. And so that was I was playing way too aggressive. I should have waited.
You keep on pushing it.
I should have
Tank's gonna be up.
waited until they were there to help me, and they weren't.
Alright.
I was too impatient.
Mongol, get this.
128 to 219. Losing B
No, we'll try
again.
this
Not
track.
good.
Capping C, we're draining C.
No, we're losing B though.
Export's
we got
complaining
B.
game is broke.
Keep on
I don't know if that's the case. I think it's the 5 guns that are shooting them
There's
personally.
2 in the sandbags on C.
Oh, fuck.
We're getting C back. That's good. And I can get B back when I get over there with my amphib.
I'm down at C.
I'll tell you,
Get
I
another
hate,
it back.
I hate making this turn with the amphib. The amphib's so slow and cumbersome. You know, I've done this turn maybe a dozen or so
Tank is
times,
down.
but I hate doing it because I feel like I never can do it
another one
right. Oh, am I gonna overshoot it? I overshot it.
Yeah, this thing sucks.
Yeah, I'm jumping out, dude. I'm jumping out.
Damn.
They're gonna get in.
Oh, there's one right above the ramp. Watch
Oh,
out.
and they're in my way! What are you doing, guys? What are you doing? Get away!
Tank coming C.
Oh no! Now you may think, okay, Daskro, why are you
Oh,
raging?
terrible.
It's not a big deal. Well, it is. I'm real slow. I'm really the bottleneck here. Oh, and I kill Frobe. He's in the way.
Keep on getting B. That's what pushing.
This is not going well at all. And I'm pushing up on it because I know they're a spawn. I'm a mobile spawn point. They can spawn on me. Let's take some shit out. I see a tank. Come on, let's take it out. I'm gonna get in position. Yeah,
Captain B.
I got a hit on it.
let's do this. Bam, 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 bam. I'm gonna ram it. Yeah, I'm gonna jump out. I'm gonna shoot it and kill a
guy on
dude.
B.
Oh, he's down. And I'm gonna.
We're on B.
But he gets out. He's out.
Keep on fighting.
He's out, and he's almost dead. But then he gets back in it.
It's not.
Oh man.
No.
No, it's still up.
Missile away on tank. He's smoking. He's down now.
And we're losing B.
Oh, 2 on B, guys. 2 on B.
So I'm gonna get back in. I'm gonna repair it.
You're on the C flag.
But I'm not on the cap point. Not good.
They're in the Vodnik. I think,
Amtrak.
or
Behind
something.
Amtrak.
Behind the Amtrak. That's where.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
It's,
Let's throw a grenade
yeah,
at
I'm
it.
not
It's okay.
capping it.
Fuck
They're
this
here.
lag.
Anders isn't happy with the lag. Anders lives in Norway, so yes, you have bad lag, Anders.
Coming from the train yard.
Kill the amphib up. Going.
All right, now I'm back on
They're
it. Oh, that's
straight in
good.
front of us, guys.
Nades out.
Oh, there's a tank. Now look at this. Look at this clutch move. Watch what he does. He fires,
Ah,
and
you
then
got
he
me.
pivots back. You know why he does that? Because the time it takes for him to fire a shot is very low. Whereas me, I have to shoot 6, 7 grenades, whatever it is, 8 grenades.
Tank's hit, 1 in the back.
That takes a longer duration to do it. And so if he can just pivot back and forth and take and do damage to me, there's no way I'm going to be able to kill
I'm
him.
repairing Amtrak.
And so you can repair it, but we're not going to. This is a losing proposition. We all go down.
Ah, shit.
Infantry all over C from A.
Spawn C.
When
What do you
using
have?
that cover to his advantage, whoever that was,
Back inside sandbags.
There's
on
no
C.
way we can
Inside
take it out.
Sandbags on C. Watch
no
your back.
way. I'm gonna repair Xwar's little helo. I repair it. I'm gonna get out and
Oh, infantry below
I'm
us,
gonna
Daskro.
try to.
Okay.
And
Cap it?
that was it.
Spawn on me, Xwar.
Fuck. Two guys coming
tank's
C.
pushing
Oh, there's a guy.
Just-
Oh, and I get him. That's good.
Train
All right.
tracks.
Oh, tank got me.
Tank.
Chopper's up,
Tank
Daskro.
on C. Tank on C.
Chopper
Tank on
or
C.
you, Daskro? There's a guy on.
I see they're pushing up with one.
fucking
Oh, that was bad on my part.
Spawn
Killed
C.
him.
That was bad. But hey, Xwar gets him. That's good.
Watch yourself. Oh.
Alright. I got the one. Little bird is up.
Man, I'm doing bad. Look
Tank
at that.
disabled. Tank disabled.
Little bird up. 1 second.
Oh, fucking hell, tank got. There's 2 tanks now coming to C. 2 tanks.
Oh, I can't fly this shit.
See a tank here? I'm gonna try to get a hit on the tank. I gotta hit the tank, but
Gonna
now
fucking get a ride to town.
not enough.
Oh man. We gotta get something.
Missile away, tank at sea.
Xwar gets a shot in the tank. That's good, but we're capped
Bail,
out.
bail, 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 bail,
Look at those landmines down.
I'm
Oh, I told all these guys, they're putting landmines down, but not in the place that needs. Oh, this is just bad.
Daskro spawned on me.
Yep.
There's someone here. Watch out. They're up on the
I'm playing. I'm the worst. I'm the worst of the team. Bad
Try
round.
grab B.
This is just heart wrenching to watch. But Mongol's there.
Trying to
Oh,
capture
Mongol allows me to
guys
jump
have done
down. I'm gonna run over there to B. I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
13.
Oh, I made the jump though. Oh, and I made the jump. Well, that's not too bad. Not too bad at all.
Dasker's on B.
I gotta get on it.
As well.
Oh, we're all capping. That's good. I'm
I
gonna
think
get
someone coming from the
around
right side down,
and
from
trying to
C.
find them. Oh, hey, got that. I'm gonna repair you. Uh-oh. Look how much damage that
Got
did to it.
2 tickets. No.
Alright. Should have taken your advice out loud.
And that's
Push the B and
it.
okay.
That was good. Good game.
Final count.
Whatever, man. Shit happens.
No, I would. It's
Final
still
count.
rough. I mean,
What was the top
Nice try,
score?
guys.
191
Good game, though.
Yeah, good
to
game.
0.
yeah, nice job.
Oh,
Switch
man.
everyone and we can go.
Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. Not too good. You know, you always, when you play and you want to do well and you lose, you feel sort of a bit of agony, right? What do they say in football? The thrill of winning, the agony of defeat, something like that. I fucked that up, but it doesn't matter. In this agony, you sort of feel like you sort of get these ideas in your head of why you lost, of why you didn't play well. You're trying to rationalize these ideas in your head, and they're very biased. They're very emotionally tinged because you have all these feelings going through you of why you lost. Well, if it wasn't for that motherfucker, we would have won. Or if this guy would have done that thing different, we would have been able to hold that and win. Or you could turn on yourself and have your own criticism. Say, well, man, if I didn't fuck this jump up and suicide and splatter on the ground, we probably could have got a point back. Or maybe even as a leader, you can be self-critical and say, oh, well, if I didn't tell them to repair me enough, or I didn't assign a repair guy, and I assumed incorrectly that they knew how to repair, and they didn't. But these are all rationalizations, and rationalizations in themselves are not some wholly immoral or incorrect thing to think about. In fact, when you lose, I want you to think about those things and hold them in the back of your head. Don't dwell on them, but just keep them in the back of your head. And over time, minutes, hours, days, the emotion will eventually wear out. The agony sort of goes away, and you get an amount of clarity in your head. A clarity that allows you to, with a much lesser degree of bias, really apply some constructive criticism as to what happened, what went right, what went wrong, what assumptions we utilized that were right, what assumptions we utilized that were wrong. And we can remember some of these things that we put in the back of our head in terms of excuses, if you will, and really sort of deconstruct them and come to the real conclusion of what it was. And so when I got done with this match, one of the first things that came to my mind was, oh man, Xwar in the helo did super bad. He couldn't stay up. He wasn't taking the tanks out. He wasn't dissuading the tanks. He cost it for us. Now, that's the first gut reaction I had, but in retrospect, after thinking about it, and after watching the replay, I realized something. The enemy team did exactly what we wanted to do. And that they were using the Vodniks, they were using the T-90s, and they were doing this thing. You recognize this thing? They were shooting down the helo. It doesn't matter if you're an ace helicopter pilot. You're not going to be effective if every time you get to decent altitude, they shoot you with machine guns. And so it wasn't Xwar's fault that he didn't play as well as we expected him to. It was because the enemy team knew that it was imperative to take out our helos, and as such, made it a point for all their players to be proactive in shooting down the helicopter. Okay, that makes sense. But we can also sort of be self-critical, to ourselves. So I look at my push off the start on the U.S. side. Let me pull it up. The LAV to A. Remember that? We were able to gray it. We didn't cap it, but we were able to gray it. But we didn't get B. Now, Jack Frags, I believe, went down to B anyway, and that's a second contingency that I didn't map out, but he did it, and mad props to Jack Frags for thinking on the spot on that. But we weren't able to hold it, and we weren't able to get a stronghold in it, and we weren't able to push much beyond that. Even when we did get C, we didn't do much with it. And so maybe it was the fact, maybe another excuse that came to mind was we didn't practice enough. And that's such an easy excuse, but there's a certain amount of validity to it. I mean, we had 3 substitutes who had never played with us before, and even though that some of these substitutes have very, very good aim, a lot better than a lot of these players, never discount the synergies that you get out of playing with teammates that you are used to playing with. Used to their comms, used to their mindset of how they play, whether they're an aggressive player or a conservative player. These kind of things are important, and if you don't have those synergies in place because you're playing with essentially ringers or substitutes, you are putting yourself at a disadvantage. Now, you can make the same argument about Team A, because they were playing with one substitute, a guy named Shetner, for DCRU Colin. And they played just fine. Shetner did really well for himself, especially in the helo. So maybe that's something. Maybe it's an excuse we didn't practice enough, and there is a certain amount of truth to that. We only played for 20, 25 minutes, and I briefly went through the strategy, but didn't really get to dive into it that much. And maybe some of the major points that I briefly talked about weren't fully understood or taken to heart to a lot of the players. And again, that was only half the team, and so you had the other half of the team that didn't listen to it at all, and I had to give them essentially a 2-minute speech of how we're going to play the map. But again, I mean, how much of that is an excuse and how much of that is a true variable, we don't know. All these various things, these variables, are just that. Not one thing changes the outcome of the map. They all compound on themselves, which is why that you want to try to minimize those things. But what other things were a problem? One of the big problems that I saw was on the U.S. side, we had a squad issue. There were a lot of times where the squad makeup was wrong, or I should have maybe moved one of the infantry guys from the other squad to my squad or vice versa. Because we had a lot of instances in which I was up, but no one on my squad was dead, and so they couldn't spawn on me. They were playing elsewhere. Not to say they shouldn't be playing elsewhere, just how it is. And so we had opportunity, but we weren't able to take advantage of it. On the Russian side, it could be a case that, well, maybe U.S. always loses. It's not just about degree of losing, but it's also about degree of the Russian side winning. Maybe if we had we practiced a bit more this idea of putting guys up to shoot down the enemy helos with the Vodniks and the tanks. Or maybe if I would have said, hey, I want to specifically assign 1 or 2 guys on me and Mongol, the tank drivers, maybe we would have stayed up longer. Maybe we would have not lost as many tickets. A lot of these are hypotheticals in nature and a lot of what-ifs, and asking these questions and sort of going through them in your head is healthy, but only to a certain degree, because once you sort of get in that loop and you keep on thinking of these iterations of these hypotheticals, it actually is very damaging. You're not learning anything from this experience, which is really what I want to talk about next, and that is losing, despite having an emotional tinge to it that no one wants to experience at an emotional or visceral level, It is the best kind of learning experience. The best kind of learning experience. We saw this interview or this sort of discussion I had with Da Vinci from Crimson. He flat out said the first time they ever played Rival in a match on this very map, they lost. And they lost by a huge margin. They lost because they had invalid assumptions about what was going to work and was not going to work with the helos. And then they got clobbered. But then after losing, they took that opportunity and reassessed their fundamental beliefs on this map, and they were able to beat them. And so as we think about this, and as we watch these replays again, and pursue a degree of healthy criticism, constructive criticism on not just each other but also ourselves, we can begin to trace back what went well and what didn't go well and try to hone up the strategy and tactics that we utilize. In the end, that's the best thing about losing, is that you get to learn from what your experiences were on this and make something of it and become a better player in the process. And so I think that we have a few ideas down of what went right, what went wrong, and maybe it's as easy as, we just need to practice more. We just need to get into a server and spend 2 or 3 hours like we usually do. Or maybe we need to, I need to be more specific in assigning roles. Or maybe I need to change my assumptions about what I need to or not need to articulate. These are all assumptions that build hypotheses that we can try again in the future. And so, final score, what was it? We won by 75 first round. They won by 191. That's a 116 point margin, huge. So 1-1, but Team A wins over Team B. Final score for the matches thus far, Team A 1, Team B 4, so we're still ahead. But every successive match, the margins have gotten closer. Even with last match, us winning by 1 ticket for the entire 2 rounds. And now we lost. So we really need to up our game and we really need to strat these things out. And I am sorry to say, though, that this will be the last Pubstars for the next few weeks because Project TFO is coming up, and I'll be playing with Nick Bunyan, who is the other guy on Team A who plays against us, but I'll be playing with him in Project PTFO. That PTFO will go for 3 or 4 weeks, and so there will be about a month-long reprieve until we see Match 6, which I don't know what the map it is. I think it's either on Metro or Peak or maybe even Tehran Highway. But nonetheless, though, we will be doing more, but there will be a break. So thanks for tuning in. And send me any questions or comments, or if you have constructive criticism about me or maybe about the other team, feel free to send it, but make sure it's constructive. Don't be sending me hate mail. I get enough of that already. So thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you guys later.